This week we will be making a Fauvist painting. Remember, Fauvism in French means the wild beast, and it was a movement started by Henri Matisse and André Duret. You have two images of source material to choose from, and although this one might look more simple, please pay attention to the elliptical curves in the tidal pool in the foreground. Even though it's a rather simple landscape, this painting is really all about color and pushing the color to find self-expression in how you feel about nature. I have chosen a pink sky, and although I had clouds in it, I was having a little bit of trouble blending from the darker pink at the top or mauve color into the yellow at the horizon line. So I've decided to paint through the bottom few clouds and will paint them back in on top later. I have chosen to make the water pink as well, and now have gone into the distant shoreline. I have added the clouds back in and made them somewhat orange. The darker, shadowy kind of crevices in the landscape in the foreground, as well as placing orange in there as kind of a test to see if I liked it. Now, this painting is really about your self-expression and use of color, so it is okay to kind of test colors out, to change your mind, and to alter them as you work. Remember, we are using what was called non-local color. So really the only kind of game or rule that you have to follow for this painting is not to paint the sky blue and or the grass green, for instance. To use color freely, non-associatedly with the landscape to express your version and feelings about nature. Now, I like this painting, but I myself, to be critical of it, found that it could rather be more like an impressionist painting, because this could be a sunset or sunrise, and the landscape would naturally take on that kind of orangey color. So did I really push my color palette into a new realm and or create a new visual experience? So in order to combat this, I decided to push myself a little further, and I did a second version. I have to ask you to please forgive me. I did not realize that my tripod had slipped in between setting up the second canvas, but I wanted to really divorce color from our natural understanding of it. For instance, making the sky green. And although the water is pink in this painting as it was in the first painting, this sky being green does not create a sunset light reflection into the water. The water is its own color, the sky is its own color, and now the foreground landscape being blue is its own color. So these colors are creating a certain harmony. I'm not sure if it's really the most pleasant harmony. It might be kind of Martian landscape here. Or rather than a Martian landscape, this might be a subconscious reaction to reading much of the news these days about climate change, global warming, and extreme weather events. Either way, this is the power that Fauvism has taught us, is that you can divorce our natural understanding of the landscape and its colors. You will still see a landscape, surprisingly enough, but you can use color more freely to express yourself.